Welcome to this explainer. I'm super excited to guide you through today's topic. We're going to completely unpack the core mechanics of manifestation, exactly as they're laid out in the famous source material of The Secret. If you've ever found yourself wondering about the actual nuts and bolts of how some people claim to literally think their way to success, well, you're in exactly the right place. Let's just dive straight in and see how this text breaks down these massive concepts into real, actionable rules.
But before we get to the specific rules for health and wealth, we've got to grasp the text's massive cosmic premise, and I mean massive. The source material makes this incredibly bold claim, actually echoing quantum physicists here, that the entire universe emerged from thought. Think about that for a second. It positions thought not just as some fleeting idea popping into your head, but as the literal foundational building block of reality itself. It's a grand scale for sure, but it sets the stage perfectly for the mechanics we're about to explore.
So, here's our agenda for today. First up, the power of manifestation. Then, attracting wealth and abundance. After that, the mind-body health connection. And finally, the ultimate secret.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the power of manifestation.
So how does this abstract, maybe even mystical-sounding concept actually function mechanically? Well, the whole thing hinges on what the book defines as the law of attraction. The text views this as an ever-working, totally immutable law of creation. It's operating constantly, whether you understand it or not, kind of like gravity. The basic definition is pretty straightforward. Like attracts like. But the source material takes this a huge step further by claiming that thoughts are literally magnetic. They possess a specific frequency, and their primary job is to draw matching conditions right back to their source, which, by the way, is you. To explain this frequency, the text uses some really cool physical metaphors. Just picture a tuning fork. When you strike it, it emits a very specific vibrational frequency, right? Well, the source material argues that human thoughts do the exact same thing. As you're thinking, those thoughts are being sent out into the universe on a specific frequency, and they magnetically attract all the like things that exist on that exact same wavelength. And that brilliantly sets up the next logical step in the author's argument. The source material considers you, yes, literally you, listening to this right now, to be a human transmission tower. Just like a TV tower broadcasts a signal that turns into the pictures on your screen, your thoughts are transmitting a frequency that is constantly shaping the pictures of your future life. So the logic goes, if you want to change what's playing on the screen of your life, you simply have to change the channel. How? By changing your thoughts. So the absolutely crucial point here is this repeating mantra, like attracts like. It is the golden rule of this universe. Whatever you're thinking and feeling right now is the seed, and the harvest you reap down the line is going to match it perfectly. Now that we've established this foundational mechanism, that your mind is basically a magnetic transmission tower, let's pivot and see how this applies to specific everyday desires.
Moving right along to Section 2, attracting wealth and abundance.
Let's see exactly how this like attracts like mechanism is applied to money and financial success in the text. According to the author, wealth is fundamentally a mindset issue. Focusing predominantly on wealth and abundance acts as a powerful magnet that draws money straight to you. Conversely, tipping the scales toward fearful thoughts of loss or scarcity will literally manifest poverty. The author gives this fascinating example of people who acquire massive wealth, lose it all because they start panicking that they're going to lose it, and then acquire it all over again once that fear is gone and they return to dominant thoughts of abundance. It's all about which side of the scale carries the most mental weight.
Now, to put this into practice, the source material provides a highly specific, actionable sequence for drawing wealth from the invisible realm right into physical reality. Step 1 is a conscious pivot. You have to shift your thoughts strictly to wealth, refusing to let any contradictory thoughts take root. Step 2 is verbal reinforcement, literally saying out loud to yourself, I have plenty. And step 3 is vivid visualization. The text seriously suggests visualizing checks arriving in your mail. The ultimate goal here is to trick your current frequency into believing the wealth is already yours.
But interestingly, visualization alone isn't quite enough. The text also identifies these emotional accelerators. The ultimate shortcut to turbocharging your wealth manifestation is feeling happy in the present moment. The text claims that radiating joy out to the universe acts as a massive conduit. On top of that, a daily practice of gratitude is highlighted as absolutely essential. By being grateful for what you currently have, you lock yourself into a frequency of abundance, which, according to the rules, the law of attraction must then match by sending you even more things to be grateful for.
Which brings us to Section 3, the mind-body health connection.
The source material strongly asserts that these exact same manifestation rules, frequency, magnetism, the power of thought, they also totally govern human biology and disease. Now, when contrasting traditional medical tools with this concept of inner healing, the text doesn't just throw out medicine entirely. Rather, it asserts that medical intervention is primarily useful because it helps eliminate acute physical pain. And why does that matter? Because eliminating the pain allows the patient to regain their focus and direct their immense mental force back toward thinking perfect health. The true healing, the text argues, comes from the mind's frequency, not just the medication.
And nothing illustrates the author's overarching point better than the placebo effect. The text neutrally presents this well-documented medical phenomenon not as some weird anomaly, but as the ultimate proof of concept for the law of attraction in action. Think about it. If a patient truly believes a sugar pill is a miracle cure, their belief, their dominant thought frequency, recreates their biology so they receive exactly what they believe. It's presented in the source as undeniable evidence of the mind's absolute power over the physical body.
So how does the text say you actually manage this on a daily basis? Well, it makes some pretty bold claims. First, it states you can literally think your way to a perfect state of health simply by holding that vision in your mind. Second, it strongly advises against talking about illness, like at all. The author argues that vocalizing disease or even just listening to other people complain about it holds it in your body and actually creates more diseased cells. Finally, it prescribes laughter and joy as a direct way to create happier biochemistry, release negativity, and even prompt what we'd call miraculous cures. And that leads us to our final part, Section 4, the ultimate secret.
We've covered the core mechanics, we've looked at the application to wealth, and we've explored the application to health. Now, this quote beautifully summarizes the overarching philosophy tying the whole shebang together. The core tenet here is that the universe is not a place of lack, competition, or scarcity. Not at all. It is an infinite, invisible supplier that reacts perfectly to the energy magnet of human emotion. The text claims there's no partiality here. The universe offers everything to everyone. Your only job is to emit the correct frequency to draw from that unlimited supply, whether you're asking for a healthy body, a new car, or a check in the mail.
Which brings us to our final thought for today. The text presents this grand theoretical framework, but its application is entirely personal. If you are indeed a human transmission tower, constantly shaping the circumstances of your health and wealth through the magnetic power of your mind, what frequency are you broadcasting right now? Seriously, think about it. Are you focused on what you want, or are you focused on what you lack? Take a moment today to really reflect on the nature of your own daily thoughts. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep focusing, and I'll catch you next time.